All right, we are going to get started here in just a few minutes. Just taking a little bit of a break and refill my water and make sure that everything is set and ready to go for this final live match for tonight. Whew, this has been fun, but it's kind of like a marathon. Trying to get caught up on all these Schmoedowns with the tournament and everything. We got one more match to go, which will be starting here in just a minute or two. We got Dangerous Dan Murrell trying to defend his title against the commissioner, Kristian Harloff. Should be a great match. I'm really looking forward to it. We'll get started here in just a minute or two. Let the notifications get out there and get people happening in the chat room, and we will be ready to rock here in just a minute. I really do. I feel like I've been running a marathon tonight, trying to get all these matches up and ready, and trying to get caught up with everything. Unfortunately, real life had a way of getting in the way earlier in the week, so I wasn't able to play these on the day of or the day after they went up. So, trying to do a whole bunch of them tonight. Finally got caught up, and we are ready to rock here live. Let's go. All right, we are ready for the Movie Trivia Schmoedown singles title match as we head into the singles tournament on the Ultimate Schmoedown. Should be a great match tonight. We got Dangerous Dan Murrell trying to defend his title against the commissioner, the guy who created the game, Kristian Harloff. Should be a lot of fun. Here we go. Grab your whiteboards. It's time to Schmoedown. Oop, wrong button. There we go.
And the winner, Dangerous Dan Murrell.
But showmanship is something, and I love a build-up. I want
say
steal
that
to
Dan
sharp
Murrell
steal.
has
the best
been
of the best to
virtually
clash against
unstoppable.
each other every single week. I want the best of the best to win every single week, and I want to face the absolute best of the best.
Yes, he lost to
Roka. If they
Roka.
take it from me, I want it to be fair and square. I want to face the best
whatever,
of the best.
But apart from that, he's been virtually unstoppable. And Harloff, of course, he's the guy who invented the game.
I'm always going to play the
this is his
game.
baby.
Wants to do that. I didn't think I would beat Bibiani. I didn't think I would beat Snyder. And now here I am, and now I'm playing the best of all time, and I will say I don't think I'm going to beat him.
First thing I'm going to do before anything is shake your hand.
Oh, my pleasure.
You and I, before being Knowles, we got a Knoll thing here, but you are by far, and I've told you this many times, you're one of the best people I know in this space. It is an honor to have you. It was an honor to have you the first time as the champion. It is an honor to have you once again as the champion. And now it's going to be an honor to face you for that championship.
Well, it's a privilege to have the championship, and it'll be a privilege to fight you, my friend, because you know your stuff.
Well, here's the problem I face. Because I just watched seeing what you did. I face the problem that I'm coming off of a team victory over you.
Yes.
And I know how you get.
Yeah.
What you just said about the free-for-all, I'm sure you feel the same way about me.
To be honest, the second biggest sting that I've ever had in that ring was getting it down to 50-50 on the first Martin Scorsese movie and picking the wrong one. So I do have a chance now to right that wrong.
You do.
How's it going, man?
And you also, and the flip side of that,
I will be doing that same double feature tomorrow after I get done with
no matter
work.
what, if I was to take that off of you, the fans are going to say that I did it in my favor, but I will tell you
I
what.
wanted to do it
we're gonna
last
fight,
night,
we're going to have a
but
great time.
again,
I'm
real
honored.
life ended up
Absolutely
getting in the
honored to
way.
play you.
I'm honored to play you, and I want to talk to the fans because I see this
tomorrow.
nonsense about Kristian floating around. And I'll tell you, I am a true champion. I would not play a man who would rig a game, and I would not play in a rigged game. I walk, and I'm not doing that. I look forward to playing this guy, and whoever wins this game is going to be your champion fair and square. So all that nonsense you're spouting online, stop it.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a fair
absolutely.
fight. It's gonna be one hell of a good fight.
Bullshit. Anybody who thinks that they do not give it throughout, that this is scripted or rigged or whatever, go to hell and go fuck yourself, because they may be playing characters in the interviews and the behind the scenes stuff. But once they get on stage into that arena, it is all legit. the singles title match tonight.
Welcome one and all to the Movie Trivia Schmoedown. It is a championship atmosphere here today. I am Mark Ellis. That is Ken Knapsack. And Ken, when you talk about competition, you talk about movie trivia,
really
one person comes to mind, and that is Kristian Harloff, the man who co-created this entire thing. He is the commissioner of the league, and he's going up against perhaps the best player the league has ever seen.
Absolutely. It is amazing and fun to watch Dangerous Dan Murrell move through the Schmoedown, even in losses. He is entertaining and powerful and a force to be reckoned with, and he regained that title. But I have said it time and time again, the commissioner, Kristian Harloff, it can be easy to overlook him because he spends so much time up here. But this man started all this with you because of a passion for movies. It makes sense that he's here contending today.
That's right, because books are dumb. And the funny thing about this matchup is that it wasn't really ever on the radar because Kristian just had this little revenge tour he was going to go on, like a rock band that got thrown into the most famous band in the world all of a sudden. His little revenge tour started out strong, and it only picked up steam, and it somehow has landed here, pitting him against Dan Murrell.
Wow, this is going to be quite a Titanic matchup.
It's a
Titanic is a higher version of Titanic.
I did not know that. I would have lost that point to you. And, you know, it's such a big match that I don't think just two people can call it. I think we need somebody. I think we need a little bit of celebrity muscle here. Nobody better to do that than Mr. Mark Yodi Riley, everybody.
Wow. We are graced.
Multi-champion.
Look at that.
First ballot Hall of
Recently
Famer.
retired,
Yep, one of the legends of the game.
That's right, making Matthew Kearns happy with his appearance here today. We'll be calling the match. Mark Riley.
Honored to have this man next to us here
That's
today.
right. He brought his Superman music, which is very exciting. Much like a competitor would. Riley, you are never that far from the championship spotlight, and here you're calling a match between Dan Murrell and Kristian Harloff. What do you think the competitors are going through right now?
Well, first of all, guys, it's an honor to be up here with two heavyweights in the league here of announcing and calling against two heavyweights here. So who do I got? Are you asking me the question of who I have in this match, or what do I think?
Hashtag who you got.
Who do I got? It's going to be tough. But what you said, Ken Knapsack, is Kristian Harloff can never be overlooked. Right. This guy, he almost pitched a perfect game
Tanner in the
John
chat room.
Roca, one of my rivals.
How's it going, man?
Who is another heavyweight of this league. But Dan Murrell, I have fought him twice. Sadly, I've lost twice. This guy is tough to beat. I don't know.
It's going to be a tough match,
I might have to
but
give the
I'm going Dan Murrell.
That's why we bring you on here. Now, both competitors graduated from Tallahassee Clown College, and Mark Riley, as you get into I hear good things about that. Now, look, when you look at this from a tournament standpoint, we could have a belt changing hands. How hard is it once you get in the ring to protect that belt that you worked so hard to achieve in the first place?
It's tough. You know, the league play is one beast. The championship is another. These lights can get to you. They got to me in my match with Dan Murrell the first time. But I know that when you have played this game a lot, you can get all of that out of there. You can play just one question at a time. That's what this game is, one question at a time. And if Kristian can do that, which I know he can, he should be okay and hang in there tough.
One question at a time, 5 rounds for the championship matchup, and there has been some cordial words. You can clearly see the fire and the passion between these two competitors. Here's a quick look.
All right, well, here we are. This is very interesting. It's very exciting. I am getting a chance to go up against Dangerous Dan Murrell for the championship, who I am a huge fan of. I think he's one of the guys that helped me and Mark really build this thing. He is arguably the greatest that has ever played the game. And just like Rocky, I just wanted to go the distance.
He is the best.
I'm back. I'm here to defend this belt. For the second time, by the way. I can defend this belt anytime, anywhere. It doesn't matter if I just won it. It doesn't matter if I won it 2 weeks ago, 2 months ago, 2 years ago. I will be back to defend this. That's what I'm doing here today. I'm going to play my game. My game's the same if the belt's on the line, if the belt's not on the line. I play to win the game. That's what I'm here to do today.
The thing with Dan is that he just goes in always cool, calm, and collected. And that's the that's the game I want to play today.
I play who I got to play. I don't care if it's Mance. I don't care if it's Wolf. I don't care if it's Riley or Roca or Riley again or Levine. Doesn't matter. I go in to play the game. I win the game. I leave. And I wait for the fates to decide who I'm going to play next.
I'm well aware that no matter what happens, I'm in a lose-lose situation here, because if I lose and I decide I don't want to play anymore, it's like, oh, why'd you? I mean, you jumped it. You didn't want to play. You say you haven't want to play for a while, so you didn't give it your heart. If I win, well, he must have certainly known all the questions. That's the only way he could have beat Dan Murrell. So, you know, I'm used to it. I'm ready for it. Like I said, this is more about me proving to myself that I can hang.
There's lots of talk about records and I tie this record or I break this record. I'm not all about records and numbers. I'm not like some of those competitors out there that are just focused on their records. I'm focused on how I play the game. And as far as I'm concerned, I don't have anything left to prove.
Anybody.
I've won this belt. You know what? I've lost this belt. I've won this belt back. I've defended this belt. I've done everything you can do in this game with this belt.
Dan, it's going to be something today, man. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun. You and I have faced once before in teams, but now it's one-on-one. It's a chance for the title, and I just want to see how I do stacked up against you.
What better game could you want than the championship of the Schmoedown playing the creator of the Schmoedown? That's what this game is meant to be. It's meant to be a clash of the titans. It's meant to be a battle of the champions. That's what you're going to get here today.
I mean, look, you see that right there. Kristian Harloff, very classy, going up against Dan Murrell. It's almost like Kristian doesn't want the belt so much as he just wants to measure himself up against the best yardstick this league has arguably ever seen in Dan Murrell. No. He's just curious how long he can last in the ring.
Murrell is
and Dan is up to the pressure. There's a lot of pressure being champ, Mark Riley. When you're out there defending the belt, not just lights on you, but sometimes it's personal pressure. Dan knows what it's like to defend. He knows what it's like to lose. So he also knows what it's like to regain. There's a lot going into this with Dan. I think he's comfortable and confident and calm, and that is almost eerie calm.
That's the dangerous thing about Dan Murrell, is that he is calm, and he said in his pregame interview that it doesn't matter who the competitor is. The game is the same. He's going to come. Doesn't matter if it's Kristian Harloff, Clark Wolf, myself, John Roca. He is going to play the game as the way he knows how to play this game.
Yeah.
Mark Ellis as well. Do not forget Mark Ellis.
Thank you very
Apologies,
much.
sir.
Do not forget about baby carrots.
As we go to the tail of the tape here, you look at the strengths of each competitor. Kristian Harloff, obviously, the guy knows a lot about Star Wars, action, adventure, and doing a passable Jason Statham impression. And dangerous Dan Murrell. What doesn't this guy know? He's good on Oscars. He's good on Spielberg. He's good on drama, and he's good at everything
on just about everything
in between.
And making flannel work.
Not the first, not the last, but definitely a great champion of both the Movie Trivia Schmoedown and flannel. Speaking of champions, one of the best voices I've ever heard, like a strong songbird, the Eagle, Ken Napzok.
Well, all right. That sounds like a retired golfer's nickname, but we're going to go with it here.
The Eagle.
Right.
We like it here.
Time.
It's
time.
working.
What's the intro? Is it time to Schmoedown? Movie trivia. Was that what you want me to say, Mark?
Go ahead and let that golden throat rip.
All right. It's time for the Movie
Trivia Schmoedown.
Championship battle. 5 rounds to a finish. Introducing first. The challenger.
Don't get it twisted. This
representing Schmoedown and Collider. With a record of 7 wins, 3 defeats, and 5 KOs. He is the 2015 Ultimate Schmoedown winner and a former Movie Trivia Schmoedown Team Champion of the World.
give it to you.
The
Commissioner Kristian
Classy entrance by the commissioner, doing the X for his good friend, his good personal ally, DMX.
Yeah, looking nice and calm there. Look at that. He's got the shades on, block the lights. I like this. He looks ready.
Absolutely. And his opponent, representing Screen Junkies, with a record of 7 wins, 1 defeat, and 4 knockouts. He is the 2016 Schmoedown Player of the Year, the 2-time Movie Trivia Schmoedown Singles Champion, the reigning, defending Schmoedown Movie Trivia Champion of the World, Dangerous Dan Murrell.
And here comes Murrell. A sign of respect from Harloff standing.
Yep.
Murrell just okay. Not respect. Murrell is all business here. To be sunglassed gentlemen, Murrell gives Harloff this watch.
An interesting turn of events.
Wow.
What does this watch mean?
Time it is.
I gave Kristian my watch so he knows time's up.
I'm going to keep that watch.
I like that. Kristian not known to wear a timepiece, but maybe that'll change. Dan Murrell with his belt, Kristian with his customary bottle of Sparkletts water, and we are about ready to get going.
Looking for sponsors.
Here, as we get into the rules for round one. Keep in mind, competitors, you need to pace yourself and hydrate because it is 5 rounds of movie trivia mayhem. The first round
rounds,
is what
all right.
you're used to.
Round 1.
8 questions from 8 different movie categories. Once you hear the question, please write down your answer on the whiteboard. When prompted, please show your answer to the cameras. At the same time, you verbalize it. Each question is worth 1 point. There's no penalty for missing a question, and there is no stealing in round 1. Dan Murrell, you are the champion. Are you ready for the championship match?
I'm always ready for the championship match.
He's ready to defend the belt, and Kristian George Harloff of Schmoes No fame, are you ready to take that belt?
As ET says, ready.
I would thought he was going to go with a Be Good reference.
Yeah, and I love that reference.
Then
He is ready.
Let's get ready,
Ready
to
to
Schmoedown.
Schmoedown.
Here we go. I'm nervous.
Rounds. 5 rounds to a finish.
5
Round
rounds.
number 1. The questions will be administered by me and Mark Riley. To preserve the integrity of the game, Mark Ellis has not been allowed to bring a laptop or look at any questions.
In the Venn diagram of integrity and Mark Ellis, those two circles have never met.
All right, gentlemen, round 1, 8 questions. First question, category is comedies. Question is, Robert De Niro played Jack Walsh in what 1980s comedy flick?
1980s comedy.
1980s.
Flick.
Comedy
Zero.
in the 80s, a bit different. Bit different.
Get away with a little bit
Yeah,
more.
a little bit more.
More
See
un-PC.
See Thomas Howell, yeah. 5, 4, 3, 2,
I got a big old
and
question
1.
mark.
Gentlemen, pens down. Dan Murrell.
16 Candles?
Incorrect.
King of comedy.
Good guess. Nope. Midnight Run. Midnight Run.
All right.
Two of them missing the first one.
Cancel
out of
the match.
Yep.
Cancel the match.
Out of
Get
the
out of
game.
here.
Neither's
Missing
worth
Game
it.
over.
70s.
Midnight Run.
Back in
Okay.
Charles Grodin. Come on.
All right.
All right, gentlemen. Your question 2 comes in the category of animated. In Beauty and the Beast, during the song Gaston, how many dozens of eggs did Gaston say he eats every day as a grown man?
Mark, have you ever seen a grown man eat an egg?
I've seen a grown man cry.
Now that he's a grown man, he eats 5.
Eggs, and it is not.
When he was a lad, he ate
Doctors
4
don't
dozen
recommend
eggs.
Started eating eggs. I go with egg whites.
5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Pens down. Kristian Harloff.
5 dozen?
That is correct.
Wow.
Dan Murrell.
I said 3 dozen.
Ooh.
I believe he had 3 dozen as a child.
child.
As a child.
I had to sing that
Kristian
song
Harloff
in my
goes-
head over and over and again.
Kristian Harloff goes up by 1 on the champ,
All
but
right,
it's early.
Question 3, category is fantasy sci-fi. In Scott Pilgrim versus the World, 2 members of the League of Evil X's have portrayed superheroes on the big screen. Name one of them.
Ken, how many evil X's do you have? And can that beat Riley's record?
No, only 1 from me. Mark?
1. Oh, yeah, I have at least 18.
Oh, good.
That's a
good.
long
That
move.
is a
Mark
superhero.
Riley versus the world is a
5,
very long movie.
4, 3, 2,
It's been too
and
long since I've seen
1.
this. I
We
have
are
no
going to
idea.
go with Dan Murrell.
Captain America himself, Chris Evans.
That's right, 1 for Dan. Christian?
Not showing off, just wanted to make sure. Chris Evans, Brendan Round.
That's
All
correct.
right,
That's
that is
correct.
Wow. Maybe a little bit of showing off there. Just a little bit of showing the
In
teeth.
case one was wrong. At least one was right.
All right, 2 to 1. 1 with Harloff up by 1. Your next question, gentlemen, is in comic book movies. The question, who played Dr. Jonathan Crane, a.k.a. the Scarecrow, in Christopher Nolan's Batman films? Those are good films.
Those
I
are
like
good
them.
films.
Have you seen them, Ken?
I have. Do
Good.
any
The
of you
3 of them.
guys own hockey pads?
Yes, I do. I do.
Cillian Murphy.
Oh, you do?
I own no hockey equipment.
The hockey pads I do
Yeah.
own, though, it's just a hockey mask.
5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Please reveal Kristian Harloff.
Cillian Murphy.
That's correct.
That's correct.
Killian Murphy.
That's correct.
All
3 to
right.
2. 3 to 2. 3 to
Harloff
2.
still clinging to that narrow lead early in round 1.
All right, next question, 5th in this round. Category is action adventure.
Pew, pew.
Ong Bak was the 2003 breakout movie for what martial artist?
Can you repeat the question?
Sure. Ong Bak was the 2003 breakout movie for what martial artist?
Martial artists are guys who do karate and jiu-jitsu.
Very light on their feet.
They're good at calisthenics.
I took 3 weeks of karate
yeah?
because there's a KFC in between my house and the rec center where they taught it.
I had trouble putting on my
No
socks
clue.
this morning.
Yeah. I got kicked out of my tumbling class at 7. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Pens down. And Dan Murrell.
Donnie Yen?
Incorrect.
Correct.
Nah, I'm wrong too. Chun Yang Fat.
No, Tony Jaa.
Tony
Jaa.
Right.
Tough one. Tough one. That's a championship level
Tough one.
question.
Yeah.
We are still at 3-2.
3-2.
Harloff up 1. Next question, gentlemen, is in the category, one of my favorites, horror thriller. And the question is,
Not me.
which Wes Craven horror film was remade in 2006 and focuses on a family of cannibals?
That was a quick question. If in a pinch, which one of us would you eat?
Oh, Mark Riley just looks so tasty.
I do have a good mid-size right now.
Yeah.
A lot of meat there.
Yeah, I feel like Mark Riley's the Morton steak and Ken is somewhat of a 7-Eleven big bite.
That's true. 5, 4, 3, 2,
No, I got
and
nothing.
1. Kristian Harloff.
Didn't have it.
Did not have it. Dan Murrell.
The hills have eyes.
That's
That is
correct to tie
correct.
the game.
Oh, ties it up. That was a...
Hey.
He might kick himself in the morning over that one, gentlemen.
All right. 7th question in the first round. 7th question in the first round. Category is 90s movies. Question is, Gene Hackman plays Captain Frank Ramsey in what flick?
Gene Hackman.
Yeah.
Hell of an actor.
You know, true fact, born 50 years of age.
Really?
Came out old.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Kristian
I was
Harloff.
going to U.S. Marshals. That's wrong.
That's correct.
Correct.
And Dan Murrell.
Crimson Tide.
That's correct. We still have a tie
All
game.
right, tie game.
I did that entire question in my Gene Hackman accent.
That's
Nobody
correct.
picked up on it.
All right, guys. Next question.
I
In the
didn't
category
remember
of
his character's name,
dramas,
that's why.
who played FBI Special Agent Richard Delores in 2016's Patriots Day?
So these are championship
These are championship level questions. I looked these overs and whew, it was tough.
The writers
Mark Wahlberg.
clearly know this is
Tough.
a belt on the line here. 5.
I'm not sure if that was his
4,
character's name or not,
3,
but it's the only
2,
person that I can think of.
and a 1. Dangerous Dan Murrell.
Mark Wahlberg.
Incorrect.
Kristian Harloff.
It's the same thing. Mark Wahlberg.
Looking for Kevin Bacon.
Kevin
Bacon.
Bacon.
Kevin
Right.
Bacon.
Well, this is a barn burner. We are tied up, and that is the last
Oh, that
question of the
sucks. I
first
just went
round.
2 out of
Sort of
8.
a feeling out
2 out of
process here
8
in
for
round
the
1.
the
4
Action
to
League
4,
on
definitely
Facebook.
worthy and very,
2 out
very
of
tough
8 for round
questions
1.
as we progress to round 2, where fates can change and fantasies can come to life before your very eyes. Also known as the wheel
Bring out the
round.
wheel of
Here's
death.
how it works. Each competitor gets a spin at their wheel. If you don't like the category you spun, you are allowed 1 mulligan, at which point you have to answer 4 questions from whatever category the wheel happens to land on. Each question is worth 2 points. If you're not sure of the answer, you can check to multiple choice, at which point the value of the question goes down to 1. Keep in mind, competitors, there is stealing in round 2. Since we are tied, Dan Murrell, the onus is on you. Would you prefer to spin that wheel or allow DMX to have the first shot?
I'll give DMX the first shot.
You don't want to cross DMX.
No, you don't.
All
There
right.
it is.
All right. Harloff
Here we
spin.
go. Harloff with a big spin.
spin,
There we
good
go.
First
spin,
spin
good
from the
spin.
There we
commissioners
go.
in landing
Well-hydrated
on
spin.
drama.
Drama. Okay, Kristian, what do you want to do? Heighten the drama or
Normally
spin
you say
again?
save the drama for your mama, but take it.
He's going to
Oh,
take it.
take it.
All
Hey.
right. He's going to take it.
Throw
He's
us
gonna
off with
take
the
it.
Schwarzenegger.
Yeah. He's so good at that. You know?
You know
I
what?
don't
It's
think
because
I
he
would have
practices.
taken
Yeah.
it, but
lot.
Day in and day out, his poor family.
All right. Mark Riley's going to minister
go.
the questions for you, Kristian Harloff.
All right, Kristian, we are in the category of dramas. Your first question. What actor plays Detective McPhee, who takes part in killing the man in the bathroom in the movie Witness?
Is it Viggo Mortensen?
Incorrect.
Correct.
Dan Murrell for the steal.
4.
Harrison Ford.
Oh, no, that is incorrect as well. We were looking for Danny Glover.
Danny
Danny
Glover.
Glover.
The competitor's getting too old for this shit.
We are still tied at 4.
young for
And
that
Kristian Harloff, your second question is coming at you now. Who co-stars with Robin Williams as Albert, his guide in the afterlife in the movie What Dreams May Come?
Multiple choice.
Multiple choice. A, Samuel L. Jackson. B, Denzel Washington. C, Jamie Foxx. D, Cuba Gooding Jr.
Cuba Gooding Jr.
That is correct.
All right.
All right.
Got a
Harloff
point.
goes up 1. And we go to the third question in the category of drama. What actress played the childhood friend of Jason Patric and Brad Pitt as an adult in the film Sleepers?
Female or male?
What actress?
Actress. Minnie Driver.
That's
That's
correct.
correct.
Wow.
2 points.
He knew all the friends in that movie.
Sure
it was
did.
a female actress.
All right, Kristian Harloff, your next question. In the Grand Budapest Hotel, many of the Lutz police militia have an image of what animal's head on their hats?
I've only seen it once.
Yeah, it's in here.
He knows it. Give me multiple choice.
All right, your multiple choice answers are A, owl, B, lion, C, wolf, D, bear.
Owl.
Incorrect.
Incorrect. Dan Murrell for the steal.
Lion?
Face. We are going to need an answer.
Bear.
That is incorrect. We are looking for wolf.
Balls.
Oh, that's cool.
Wolf. It was a wolf the whole time in
Whole
sheep's
time.
clothing.
All right.
Is that it?
Now, that is all for Kristian Harloff in round 2,
Shit
but he
round.
does have the lead, 7-4. Please do not swear, there are children watching. Dan Murrell, you are up. You deferred your first spin. It is now time for you to be in the spotlight. Give that baby a toss.
All right.
I've never said that before.
Spin for Dan. And spins
Round
in.
and
Spins
round.
in. A lot of power with one-handed spin.
That's right.
He-
That's
he
a
just-
spin that has been there before.
Yeah, he
Lots of
knows.
practice.
And
he
the
knows
lefty,
that wheel.
too. I didn't know he was a southpaw.
Knows that wheel.
Here it comes.
Oh,
Oh, no.
Opponent's-
I've had that happen to me. That can change the game, or he
I
can
bet.
overcome it
It's
and
not,
do all right.
It's not huge because he fucking knows everything.
Right,
Choice,
exactly.
and we should remind the audience watching that it is up to the favorite or the champion in this case to decide whether they want opponents and spinner's choice
He
on
doesn't
there.
know sports either.
So
though.
Kristian, Dan Murrell did decide
gonna-
to have opponents and spinner's choice on there. This is his own knife,
Choice.
perhaps digging into his back. What category would you like to make him answer questions from?
The problem is, I know that's a problem. Nah, there's thriller in there. He knows thriller.
I'm gonna go to
This is where you
Sports are
4,
hard.
dance.
Give me
3,
sports.
Sports
Two
movies.
sports
movies.
movies.
Sports movies.
sports
right.
movies.
All right.
New
All
Murrell
right.
order.
Oop.
All right. All right. Dangerous Dan Murrell. Kristian Harloff has selected sports for you. You're going to get 4 questions in this round. You do have multiple choice. Question 1. Who played enthusiastic linebacker Alan Bosley in Remember the Titans?
Multiple choice.
A. Donald Faison. B. Ryan Gosling. C. Ryan Hurst. D. Craig Kirkwood.
Gosling?
Donald Faison.
Incorrect.
Correct.
Ryan Gosling.
That's correct.
That's correct for a
point.
steal.
I knew he was
1
in the
point.
movie. I thought it was
Steal.
a trick question.
Big steal. That's a good one
That's
there.
right, 4-point lead for Harloff.
All right, Mr. Murrow, second question. What film follows the perfect game performance of an aging baseball star and what could be his final game of professional baseball?
You repeat the question.
Sure. What film follows the perfect game performance of an aging baseball star and what could be his final game in professional baseball?
Mr.
For love of the
2000?
game.
That is
That's
correct.
correct.
2
2 points.
for Dan.
And he's
Kevin
back up
Costner.
there.
Might have been the one that gets Murrell woken
That
up
was
here.
Costner.
Yeah.
Quaid was in another movie.
Kevin Costner. John C. Reilly, his catcher. All right. Question 3. In Happy Gilmore, what fast food chain does Gilmore become a spokesperson for?
Subway sandwich.
Oh,
That's
2
right.
big points. He ties it up. That is why he is dangerous.
As it turns out, a better spokesperson than Jared after all these years.
He went there, folks.
Decorum. Final question of the round, Dan. Against which team did Notre Dame's Daniel Rudy Rudiger get a sack against in the motion picture Rudy?
I need to rewatch these classics that I've seen
Multiple
like
choice.
only once.
A. Army. B, Pitt, C, Miami, D, Georgia Tech?
Army.
Incorrect.
Miami.
Georgia Tech.
That's correct for a point.
That is correct.
Big steal.
That's a big steal
All
because
right.
now Harloff retains the lead at 9-8. Now we move on to round 3, and it's going to be a little bit of a different circumstance. This is known as the betting round, and Kristian in the lead is going to give that wheel one more spin. Whatever category it lands on will have one question. Once you see the category, the competitors are going to be able to wager between 0 and 3 points, depending on their confidence level. We will then ask the question, and then you will reveal how many points you wagered after the answer.
Big spin for the wager round. Good
There
spin,
it
good
goes.
spin.
Spin is in.
All right.
Jeopardy
It's looking like it
round
could be
and
90s.
Spinner's
Spinner's
choice.
choice. So now Kristian Harloff can choose whatever
Wow.
category he wants.
He is
Sports.
sports.
He
movie.
went right
He
back.
went to sports.
Right back to sports.
Wow, okay.
Now we're going to ask the competitors to
That was
each
a
write
bit of
down
a
how many points they'd like to
strategy.
wager again from 0 to 3, and then one
I'm
of our
hoping that
trusty
Dan
team
misses
members
again.
is going to confirm that.
Yeah, we have Dennis Zen on the side.
Dennis
there. One
Zen.
of the trustiest people in the office.
I don't trust many people here, but
Yep.
he's one of them.
Perhaps the only trustworthy person in this office here. All right, the bets are down. Your guys' question is as follows. I'll read it. In 1993's Rookie of the Year, what team were the Chicago Cubs playing against in the film's Big Game, the final game of the regular season?
I know it starts,
Yeah.
but that's
That is a
not
tough
part of the
question. I will
That
tell
is.
you that
Yeah,
right
that
now.
is not the easiest one I've ever heard. and
No.
I've heard a lot of them.
I did
Repeat
know
the
the
question.
Sure. In 1993's Rookie of the Year, what team were the Chicago Cubs playing against in the film's Big Game, the final game of the regular
The
season?
Red Sox, I don't know.
All right, competitors writing down their
All right.
answers, and now we go to Dan Murrell first. Dan Murrell, how many points did you wager?
I wagered 2.
He wagered two
2
in the
points.
category of sports, and your answer was?
I wrote the Oakland A's.
No.
Incorrect.
Correct. Murrell goes down to 6. So as of right now, Harloff enjoys a 3-point lead. Kristian, how many points did you bet?
3.
And your answer?
Cardinals.
You're going to be down 3 points. The
Incorrect.
correct answer was the New York Mets.
The New York Mets, and now we are tied going into round 4.
Tied.
We are
6-6.
lighting this up.
That's right. Hey,
6-6.
if you don't know Rookie of the Year better, that's why you're in this position. We move on to the speed round. This is where we can really get the hot tub frothing because we're going to ask the field 5 questions. As soon as a question is asked or a part of the question is asked, you feel confident you know the answer, you may buzz in. Once you buzz in, you have exactly 2 seconds from the time I say your name to answer the question. If you do not get it, even if you have the correct answer outside of that 2 seconds, you will lose a point.
All right, gentlemen, are you ready? All right, your first question in the speed round is, what are Simon Pegg and Nick Frost's profession in
cops.
Hot Fuzz?
Dan Murrell.
Cops.
That is correct for 1 point. Question 2. What 1989 comedy stars John Travolta, Kirstie Alley, and a baby with the voice?
Look
Chris
who's
talking.
That's correct.
That's right.
Question 3 in the speed round. Who voiced the title character in Fantastic Mr. Fox?
Dan Murrell.
Bill Murray.
Incorrect.
Loses a point, and it was George Clooney. So now Harloff
All
up
right.
7-6. 2 speed round questions remain.
All right, guys, 4th question. Which movie was the feature film directorial debut of F. Gary Gray?
Italian Job.
Incorrect.
Incorrect.
It was not balls either. It was Friday, and it is now 6-6. 1 speed round question remaining.
All right, guys.
It should have been
listen-
balls.
Listen carefully. Final question. In Independence Day, who plays Captain Stephen Hiller's fighter
Dan
pilot?
Murrell.
Harry Connick Jr.
That's
That-
right.
I was counting. That's
correct.
That was within 2. That was
All right.
within 2. Barely within 2. Dan Murrell gets the point and is now 7-6 as we move on to the 5th round. What a hotly contested match with nobody getting questions right here in the championship
Play it
match.
back, though.
Round 5. It was. Don't worry.
If you
it was
want to,
2.
I'm fine with
It was
it.
2 seconds.
I'll challenge it. I want to see if someone out there thought it was more than that. I'd like to
All
bring
right,
in
we have
a
a
fourth
challenge
judge.
on the
Okay.
field.
After consulting with a panel of judges of various blood alcohol levels, we have decided that we will ask another question. Ken Knapsack kept reading the question, thus it gave Murrell a little bit too much insight into what the answer may have been. So we have a new speed round question that is going to be asked once again. This is the last question in round 4. We are currently tied.
All right, guys, 5th and final question. Who portrayed the role of Texas Ranger LaBouffe in the 2010 remake?
Kristian Harloff.
Matt Damon.
That's correct.
All right, so big swing there with the Harloff challenge. It is now 7-6 going into round 5.
That was a good challenge by Harloff.
This is a crazy championship match that has very little points being scored, but a whole lot of drama in store for us. Now we move on to the final round barring overtime. And here's how it works. Each competitor is going to give us up here at the desk 3 numbers ranging from 1 to 20. Each one of those categories corresponds to a movie category up here.
Like I said, very close.
The first question is worth 2 points. The second question is worth 3
Harloff
points.
could
and
pull
your
it
last
out.
question is worth 5 points.
Because it's so close and so little points, it could be anybody's game.
Your legacy in the Movie Trivia Schmoedown. Kristian Harloff, you are winning by 1 point. So what are the 3 numbers you would like to have?
7, 1, and 13.
7, 1, and 13.
A good round of applause for those numbers.
Good numbers.
Odd numbers all.
A lot of fans of the number 1 here. All right, Dan, your numbers.
16, 8, and 15.
Ooh, I thought he was going all even.
Wow.
Love that last
Going all evens.
Wow. Curveball there, coming back around for 15.
Dan Murrell,
Thank
you are going to receive the first question. This is the 2-point question for Dan Murrell to take the lead.
All right, Dan, I'll be asking this question. 2-point question. You chose the number 16, which is fantasy sci-fi. 2-point question. John Carter takes place on Earth and
Mars.
That's correct. 2 points.
2 points for Dan Murrell, and
that's a question, all right.
Jesus H. Christ, what is Kristian's first question?
All right, Kristian, your first number was the number 7, and that corresponds to the category of Scorsese films. Scorsese?
He is a director.
Heard of him.
Your 2-point question. What was Henry Hill selling when he got arrested the first time as a kid in the movie Goodfellas?
Cigarettes.
That is correct for 2 points. Kristian Harloff.
Weird trivia question. I've arrested Henry Hill as well.
Let's cancel the match and hear that story.
I did not know that.
I'm fine with that.
So now we move back to Dan Murrell. You will be answering your 3-point question administered by Henry Hill's latest arrestee, Ken Knapsack.
All right, you're down by 1. You're going to need the 3-point. You chose, Dan, the number 8. That is Meryl Streep.
Oh, boy.
Meryl Streep.
Meryl Streep movies.
All right.
Good Lord.
3-point question. Who directed Meryl in Ricky and the Flash?
Wasn't it her husband? What the hell's her husband's name?
5, 4, 3, 2.
Nora Ephron.
Incorrect. Incorrect. Looking for Jonathan Demme.
Jonathan Demme. And now, with Dan Murrell trailing, he is going to be forced to answer his 5-point question. If Dan Murrell gets this right, we go back to Kristian Harloff, who has 2 questions remaining. If Dan Murrell misses this, then Kristian Harloff, the commissioner, is also the new champion of the Movie Trivia Schmoedown.
All right,
No
Dan
pressure.
Murrell, you chose number 15. That is the category of horror thriller. Horror thriller. 5-point question. Put you in the lead and put this back into Kristian's court. What is the name of the bartender in The Shining?
Lloyd.
That's correct. 5 points.
Wow, that is why he is so dangerous. He nailed that one. I didn't think he would.
Very confident answer by Dan Murrell. Maybe he's had a run-in with ghost bartenders in one of his many travels. And now we go back to Kristian Harloff, who really has a practice question here. It's worth 3 points. It's not really going to matter if you get it right either way, but it's going to make you feel good about yourself.
Thanks.
All right, Kristian Harloff, your next question, 3 points. You chose the number 1, corresponds to the category of war films. Who directed The Great Escape?
I forgot.
Is that your final
no
answer?
No shot in the dark.
No, it doesn't matter.
Okay. The answer we were looking for is John Sturgis.
Yeah.
John Sturgis.
Yeah. John Sturgis, of course. And John Carter was from Mars. Here we go with the 5-point question. If Kristian Harloff gets this, he is the new champion of the Movie Trivia Schmoedown. If he misses it, Dan Murrell keeps that shiny belt. No pressure here, gentlemen.
Right. All right, Kristian Harloff, back to you. For your 5-point question, you chose the number 13. That corresponds to the category of Disney films.
All right. He's got a young daughter.
For all the marbles, this is for the belt. Which veteran actor lent his talent to Zootopia as the voice of Mayor Lionheart?
Oh, shit.
Go in 5,
Is that
4.
Is that Idris Elba?
Repeat the question.
Well played.
Which veteran actor lent his talents to Zootopia as the voice of Mayor Lionheart?
J.K. Simmons.
And your winner, and new
Let's go, give it to you. Wait for you to get it on your own. Let's go, deliver to you. Open up the door, it's real. With the non-stop pop-up, standing still. Go hard, getting busy with it. I got such a good heart.
Leave a
Defensive struggle here, gentlemen, but a win nonetheless, and a new champion of the Movie Trivia Schmoedown League, Kristian Harloff, has the belt formerly belonging to Dangerous Dan Murrell.
Wow, that one, like you said it, Mark, that was, you know, handoff, 3 yards and dust type of game. Like I said, defensive struggle. And it came down to some strengths that both these players had, and some stuff in the middle of the rounds where they were back and forth. It comes down to the end, maybe as it should for a championship match.
Mark Riley, how was he able to pull that last question out?
Well, the fact that he has a small
Knockdown
daughter and
Drago.
watches Disney movies might have helped the
movie.
fact that he knew that answer. He
Fantastic
played it
match.
well, though. He wanted to make sure he did the great JTE rule, and he asked the question again so he could get his thoughts there. That's a sign of a true competitor, knows how to play the game, and now we have a new champion.
We have a new champion, Ken and Mark, and now we go to both the new and the old champion here for the post-game interviews hosted by Emma Fife.
Kristian was very clear about the fact that this was a retirement match for him. What nobody knew except for me was that this was a double retirement match because I made up my mind a long time ago that the next time I lost this belt, it'd be time to step away from the game. The commission doesn't know about this. Nobody knows about this. But I have decided that it is time to step away from the Schmoedown for a while. I will be back, but there's a lot of new blood down there. There's a lot of people that want that belt. And I think now's the perfect time to give all of them a shot at it. So
this is breaking news.
I don't even know. This is unbelievable.
Let's give it up for Dangerous Dan Murrell.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
I stepped down. We got a new champion, and then Dan Murrell is joining in the retirement party.
Absolutely. There's going to be a lot of people down at Boca Vista.
Everybody's going to want that belt, and me included.
Wow.
This is a whole new landscape here in the Movie Trivia Schmoedown. For more insight
That just made the singles
on both
tournament
the
more
match and
interesting.
this incredible announcement afterwards, we now go to Emma Fife.
What's up, Movie Trivia Schmoedown fans? Emma Fife here with the commissioner and now the Movie Trivia Schmoedown champion of the world, Kristian Harloff.
It's weird.
It is. It's you're doing double duty here.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, it's so many things go through your head. It's just like the competitor. I'll be honest. The first time in 2014 when we played, there wasn't all of this. Right. So all I wanted to do was I wanted to win it. I wanted to win the whole thing, and that was it, and bragging rights. And I wanted to play Mark Riley. Makuga did the Blue Fairy thing. It was over. It was done. But now with all this, it's like, you know, I always hear the comments or I hear the things, but then couple that with, hey, by the way, because I was just talking to Jay Washington. He's like, well, Vince did it too. It's like, yeah, but Vince never retired Stone Cold Steve Austin. So when I'm sitting up there and Dan's like, no, I'm not playing anymore. I'm like, oh, man, I wish I wouldn't have won. You know, it's like, I want to see Dan play. I love watching Dan play.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as you bring up, when the Schmoedown started back in 2014, there wasn't all of this pomp and circumstance, and you didn't have all of these incredible new competitors coming in, as Dan Murrell alluded to, as he announced his retirement, which was a shocker to all of us. How are you feeling about that?
You know, he had told me at the Spectacular last year that he's like, well, it's before he played Ellis. He's like, I just want to let you know that. What do you think? Like, if I don't win tonight, that I step back? And I go, I don't ever want you to step back. He's like one of my favorite competitors to watch. Ellis said it at the table, and it's completely true.
He's the best.
I just wanted to see how long I could go with him. I had no intention of winning this. I had no intention of doing that at all. And to hear that I'm stepping back, it's like, I can't wait. I told him, you'll see it when I hugged him. I go, I'm going to get you back. So I'll get him to play again.
So then what is the plan moving forward without Dan Murrell and now with you with the belt? When are we going to see this belt on the line next?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'll
so
be
much
completely honest with you. The Dan Murrell thing threw me off because I was planning on just saying that's it, that's the last match, and giving Dan Murrell the #1 contender spot at the Spectacular and letting him play against whoever, was the finalist and didn't win, and then I don't know what to do anymore. I was going to maybe put the thing up on the line and let them all battle it out at the Ultimate Schmoedown, but I feel like I got to defend it against the winner.
I feel like that is definitely true, and I also feel like your daughter might have had something to do with you answering that last question correctly.
It did, and it also, when I left this morning, she was very aware. She's 5.5. She's very aware. She's like, Dada, will you be champion today? And I called her this morning, and she's like, did you win the match? And I was like, I haven't played yet. And I'm like, and I feel like I'm not beating Dan, honey, so don't get too excited. You got a better chance of getting a dog tomorrow. But, she didn't get the dog, but at least she got this.
That's true. Well, I'm sure she will be very happy to hear from you. You should probably go call her right away and share the good news. Congratulations, Kristian.
Thank you. You can call it what it is. It's weird.
It is. It is a little weird, but we still love you, and we will be right back with the person who is still a winner in our hearts but lost the match today, Dangerous Dan Murrell. And we are back with Dangerous Dan Murrell, who surprisingly didn't pull out a victory today. Dan, this is unusual for you.
Yeah, I mean, I think the real congratulations goes to Bibiani because I think he pulled ahead on all the stat sheets after that performance. That was rough. That was the hardest game I've ever played, and obviously I think the worst game I've ever played.
Yeah, it was a low-scoring game all around, but I think that it just is a reflection on how difficult the questions were, not the skill level of the competitors.
Well, the questions were tough, but questions are always tough. I think that I'm not sad to go out on a loss. I was prepared for that. I just wish I personally could have performed a little better, just to make it a better game.
Right, absolutely. I mean, considering that apparently in your head you knew from the start of this game that you were going to shock the world and tell us all that you were retiring. Would you like to elaborate on what prompted you to make this decision?
I've been thinking about it a long time. The triple threat was a retirement match for me. I just looking at, but for me, beating Roca was the last little bit of unfinished business on my board. Right. I wanted to come back and do that and kind of dot the period on the end of that sentence. And I decided that the next time that I lost the belt, whenever it was, would be when I retired. And I think it's actually great timing because I see the league now. I see how it's shifting. I see all these new faces. The dynamics are shifting, and it seemed like perfect timing to really shake things up. And I love to watch all of these other guys play the game. And I think the tournament this year is going to be great. I can't wait to see who goes through it, who advances. If they're playing the commish, I don't know who they're going to be playing. I don't know who's going to play for the belt. I think it'd be fun to see somebody other than myself, Mr. Roca and Riley, hoisting that belt above their head. We just got our first one today.
Who are some of the competitors that you think might have a chance?
I mean, everyone's always talking about Bibiani. Everybody's always talking about Weenie. To me, though, I think it's always the people you don't expect. I mean, it's this. If this match proves anything, it's that the conventional wisdom and how you think people are going to do and what you expect out of a match, it is thrown out the window the second that first question is asked. I don't think anybody would have predicted that today's match would have gone the way that it did, but it did, and that's how I play every game. You don't know what every game has in store. As far as I'm concerned, every single one of them is a clean slate.
Absolutely, and none of us know what's in store now for the future of the Schmoedown because Kristian Harloff, the commissioner who did defeat you today, was going to offer you that #1 contender spot at the Schmoedown Spectacular. Now, he says that he wants to go at it with you again. Would you reconsider? Would you come back to the Schmoedown time to face off against Commissioner Kristian Harloff?
I mean, I love the Schmoedown, and I am going to take a break, but I think if history tells anything, it's that it's hard for fighters to walk away from the game. So I don't think it's out of the question to say that I might be back someday. I don't know when that's going to be. I don't know how it's going to be. My advice would be that if you are carrying that belt on your shoulder, like Mr. Harloff is right now, maybe take a look over the other shoulder, because one day I might be there.
Well, again, Dan Murrell, you've been a wonderful competitor here in the Schmoedown, multiple-time Schmoedown champion. We all just think the world of you.
And I want to thank the Schmoedown fans who, I came over from Screen Junkies to do this. My first match was against Campia a year and a half ago, and they have been so nice and cool and gracious and kind, except for some of the D-bags on Facebook.
Best.
But that's all right. They're the minority.
98%
of the Schmoedown fans have been incredible. So I want to thank them for being supportive and watching this thing and coming over to Screen Junkies and everything. It's been a lot of fun. I love this game. I love playing this game.
And we love having you here, and we'll continue to support you in all that you do. Good luck with your retirement.
Before you do, I was able to, if you don't mind, go ahead and sit there for 1 second. So, like I did when there was, after the collision, we had our conversation, and I said it then, I say it now. You are the best that has ever played the game. You are my friend. You are someone that I have to thank you from the bottom of my heart for helping build all of this. Without someone like you, this doesn't mean anything. It means shit, because it does, because I felt like I was playing a video game against Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, where how are you going to beat Mike Tyson? And I got lucky with some cheat codes. So thank you. It doesn't mean I cheated, you assholes.
A can of worms, my friend.
But you know what I mean. It's like the fact that I just wanted to thank you very much for helping us do this. Absolutely. When I say that, I want to see you back. I understand. I want to step back, but I want to see you back.
We'll see. Maybe one day. We'll see.
Dangerous Dan Murrell, the greatest of all time. Thank you so much, Dan, for everything, and thank you, Emma. She's the best. All right, back to those guys.
I mean, look at it right there. It's not a contrived setup. It's not anything that even the commissioner knew about. Dangerous Dan Murrell retiring. But before we get to that, Ken and Mark, Kristian Harloff is the new champion, and I would say a worthy one of the Movie Trivia Schmoedown.
I've said it time again. I've said it up top. You cannot count him out. He's got into this business for a reason. This is a kid who watched movies every day of his life growing up, and this has to be a proud moment. There's going to be a lot of pressure on him. It's tough to run this thing and also lead this thing in the field, and he has the belt now regardless.
That's right, Riley. Kind of compare how Kristian was reacting in that interview the very first time he got to hold that singles title belt. What was it like for you the first time?
Well, it's something when the weight hits your shoulder after you've gone through what you've gone through, whether it's a match like that or building your way up by win after win, it is something to take in. And I could see it in his face, and he deserves it. My God, he's now on the Mount Rushmore of the Schmoedown, perhaps.
Absolutely, with a new champ Mark, and with Mark Riley stepping aside a bit, Dan Murrell stepping aside a bit. In Game of Thrones, there's something in the history called the Age of Heroes, and the current characters look back at that age as where all the heroes rose up and saved Westeros. We will look back to Dan Murrell, Mark Riley, these guys as the Age of Heroes, as a new generation reaches for these titles.
Nobody read those books, Ken, but I will tell you this, before we say goodbye here, I mean, the Dan Murrell retirement, that doesn't seem like anything that was just thought up, spotted. No. This is really something that he had plotted out and really wanted for a long time.
Yeah, and I know the feeling, because when you've played as long as he has, as I have, as a lot of us here in this room have, it can take a toll, but it's nice to see all the new faces now, because there is blood in the water. That belt now is on the line. Kristian Harloff is going to have to do a hell of a time to defend it. And these people, these competitors, they're going to come at it. This is a shock to me.
The score was 14-13, like a 1960 AFL matchup. I don't even know if the AFL was around then, but the Movie Trivia Schmoedown is alive and well here. Kristian Harloff is the new champion. For all the latest goings-on in the league, make sure you guys check out the Schmoedown Rundown on iTunes and request to be a member of the Movie Trivia Schmoedown Facebook page. We now turn it over to Joshua Hercules Makuga, Pittsburgh Superman, for the latest fantasy updates.
What's up, Movie Trivia Schmoedown fans? Josh Makuga here with your fantasy update. Post Kristian Harloff, Dan Murrell, the champ has been defeated. He is retired. If you had him in your fantasy league, you should probably drop him. These are not keeper leagues. He may return at some point down the line, but I don't foresee it anytime soon. On the flip side, if you have Kristian Harloff, keep him. He is huge trade bait right now, but let me tell you this. Because of all of his matches, and all of his matches are championship matches, it means he's going to play less often, which may be a good way to trade. Am I spoiling alert? Am I doing this? I said, Private Pile, you keep your mouth shut. Don't you break. Don't you break. Don't you damn break. If you break, I swear to God, I will rip your ear off and stick my finger into your skull. Play with your brain. Listen to me, and you listen good. You listen real good. This is a fantasy update, and if you treat your fantasy league like Cody Hall treats not breaking right now, you have a good chance of taking it down. When does the fantasy season end? The fantasy season ends at the Schmoedown Spectacular. So start racking up points. You need point getters. You need point holders. You need to drop Dan Murrell. You need to trade some people. You need to make some effing moves. Cody Hall doesn't care about anything. All he cares about is not breaking right now. For all your fantasy needs, make sure to check out schmoedown.com and talk to Frank Janish. There's also a Schmoedown Rundown hosted by Ken Knapsack every Thursday live on Facebook Live. And there's also, is that what it is? Inside Schmoedown, I apologize. Inside Schmoedown! Did you just break Private Cody? Inside Schmoedown live every Thursday. And of course, the Schmoedown blog guys, I believe they're over in England. They're doing a hell of a job writing about us, making us look cool. I'm Josh McCouga. This is Private Hall. We'll see you next time on the Movie Trivia Schmoedown. Hand my microphone to Cobster. Go back on camera, done.
Whoa, what's up, champ?
What's going on with you, champ?
It's weird, I know.
It's weird.
Very weird, especially sitting next to you. Legend.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay, so, wonder what the hell I'm doing?
I'm wondering what the hell you're doing.
Well, we got the Fatal Five-Way coming up.
Yeah.
Singles tournament's about to.
That's
By the way,
right.
very strange that you're not in it this year.
I know. It feels a little weird, but it's like amputating a leg. You feel the tingles
But you look like you get a lot of color in your face, like you're excited you're not competing.
I'm excited. I'm taking a break.
All right, so anyway, I'm putting all these contenders in here, right?
Okay.
A lot of different contenders who have competed over the course of a couple seasons. I wanted to give everybody a chance here to try to get into the tournament.
Yeah.
So the winner plays Roca in the first round. And yeah, so this is it. We're going to find out because Hector Navarro couldn't do it because of his schedule.
Okay.
But you are going to do me the honors.
Okay.
All right, you ready?
Yeah,
All
I'm
right,
ready.
So hold on, let me switch it up.
It's a fair and scientific approach to this whole thing.
I figured out how to do it this way.
Yeah.
Fair, simple, easy.
Yeah.
What you
Okay.
got?
Okay. I'm gonna pick. Don't show it to the
Who's
camera,
lucky
right?
winner? No, don't show it to the
Okay. I'm gonna show it to you though. Ooh, that's interesting. That's
very
interesting. Yeah.
I think that person might have a chance.
I think so too.
All right.
I think
Well,
so too.
that person is in. I know now
So
who exactly
who
is
is
going
it?
to be in the Fatal Five on Tuesday. The winner
And you're
will
not
play
gonna tell
Roca
us.
in the first round. Man, that's I wish I could tell everybody right now who's going to be in it, but I'll save the surprise till Tuesday. But check it out. It's this Tuesday.
You're gonna make
and
us
thank
wait
you
all
guys
weekend.
For checking out the match today. I am honored. Thank you to Dan Murrell. Thank you to all you guys. Thank you to the angry commenters who I'm sure have commented, and to the great commenters and all the fans on the Movie Trivia Schmoedown. Thank you guys so much. I kid. We love you, and this is something.
That is something.
All right, a lot of surprises there. I'll just take my headphones off so I'm not hearing myself. I'm on to do whatever. A lot of shocks. I mean, from how low scoring that was to the fact that Kristian actually beat Dan Murrell, to the fact that Dan Murrell is now retired, to now who's going to take up and be the fifth player in the Fatal Five-Way on Tuesday. Fantastic match. I'm still a little bit in shock about all that what happened here. Congratulations to the commissioner. It's his game. He's now the champion. Everybody and their brother is going to be out for blood to try to get that belt away. Because I do think that Harloff is beatable. You know, with Dan Murrell, there was this air about him that he was the best, that he was unbeatable. Kristian, I think, he's definitely a smart guy, but I think he does have some flaws, and I think that he is beatable for the right person to come in and, you know, make a run during the tournament, and then at the Schmoedown Spectacular in December at the end of the year. It's going to be really interesting. I'm looking forward to it all. Thank you guys for hanging out in the chat room. Ryan O'Toole, Tanner, I think I saw Iker in there for a minute or two. Thank you guys for hanging out. Thank you, everybody who's watching the replay. It's been a great night. It's been an exhausting night doing this marathon, trying to get caught up on everything here with the Schmoedown. But this is the end. Thank you all for watching. And until next time, I will see you at the movies. Bye-bye.